Alright guys, so today I'm gonna make a tier list for the upcoming anime Showdown game, and there'll be three things that my tier list will be biased off of, I guess. For the first one, it'll be damage output. Second one is combo potential, and the third one is going to be awakenings. Now I'm also going to include extra pluses and minuses, such as like sub modes and like the actual mode in like the availability of you and the use you can use it, like such as 1v1s, 2v2s, 3v3s, etc. Now we are going to go ahead and dive into the tier list. I hope you do enjoy. Let me know if you have any opinions about it. Okay, now before I do start this tier list, I'm going to say that this is completely biased and this is completely my opinion. But starting off, I'm going to start off with Naruto, and I'm going to put him in, I guess, I give him a middle B. Now, the reason why I put him here is because I think his damage is somewhat mediocre, but a cool thing about Naruto is that he has all his clones, and that can really be overwhelming in like 1v1s. But in 2v2s, he's just kind of mid. But something else I'd also like to add on is that he has a half mode, and that can also add on for his awakening, where you can get his mode is really OP. Like this one, the damage output is absurd. Like it's actually insane. Like you can 0-100 people probably just like literally one of the moves. Like it's just a single one. It's actually ridiculous. So that's another reason why I put him up. And another reason why he's also high B tier is because he has a cool mobility move, in which a cool thing about the move is that it charges your mode bar. I also forgot to mention his combo potential, which I honestly think that his combo potential is kind of low-key like a B tier. But his clones do come in clutch majority of the time. But I think I should leave him at a high B tier, just because his moves don't really match up well for combos. Alright, now we have Katakuri. I'm going to set him middle high S tier. Now, the reason why I put Katakuri high S tier is because his damage output and his combo potential are off the rails. Just like shown in this clip right here. He can still do a 0-100 while in his base form, which is absolutely insane. And on top of that, his mode is even more crazy. Now, about his mode. His mode is pretty good. It's honestly really nice. A cool thing about it is that he gets extended M1s, like so, and they still do a nice amount of damage. And he has hella range. His range is still absurd, and as well as the damage output. He has 2 range moves. He also has this bad boy right here, which is a guard break. And on top of that, he has the move we all love, which is Buzz Cut Mochi. And he also has Future Sight on top of that as well, which also just gives him a cool evasive. So, yeah. Now, unlike his base mode, which has high combo potential, unfortunately his mode does not possess that. But it kind of lacks, it kind of fixes itself just because the damage output and the range just makes it just that much better. Cool evasive. So, yeah. I'm going to go ahead and leave him at a high S tier. Next up on the list, we have Ichigo Kurosaki. I am going to put him at the best character so far. He's currently the meta right now. Seeing as in how Ichigo can 0 to 100 with only using 3 of his moves, which I think is completely unfair and extremely overpowered, which is exactly how Ichigo got his spot at number 1 on my tier list, considering the fact that all of his moves are pretty much his combo extenders, which is absurd, insane actually, and they do an absurd amount of damage. That's not even mentioning his mode. Now for Ichigo, he has his half mode, which is his little mask, and it also gives him the the Vasto Lorde awakening, which you just saw. And for his awakening, it's just literally just his buff damage. He has the only new move he has is Getcha Lashes, and he has Savage Throw, which is just a grab and a stun kind of. And now his awakening for his mode right here, which is also pretty nice. He has a OPS move, which is a Sarah that takes up like half the map. He also has 2 other AoE moves, I believe, which do a certain amount of damage. Like his final zero, you jump up in the air, blast a fat beam that nukes like half the map. It's absolutely crazy. And then for his other move, his Savage Reend is just kind of nice little M1s into a roar. Fasto Rage is just AoE attack, does a stupid amount of damage. Pretty nice. Exterminate, grab, showcase, and you hit them with a nice little Zero. Now, his combo potential is also pretty clean on his Awakening as well, but sadly in the end it does kill you. And on top of that mode, he also has Magetsu, which just like shown in the anime, he literally just does like his little slash and obliterates Aizen. Just to throw that as another plus on top of Ichigo are being OP. Next up on the list we have Ulquiorra. I guess that's how you pronounce it. I don't know, it's weird. That's his name. Now, I'm going to place him at a nice high A tier. Now, he does possess the potential to do a 0 to 100 combo, but I'm not telling him to do it, which is showed in the video because I cannot do it. But a cool thing I do like to add on, plus about just not because his combo potential is really nice, but another thing I like to add on is that he has a second Awakening, which I absolutely love. Now, on top of that, he has nice little AoE ranged moves for his first mode. And then he also gets his other resurrection, which I think looks fucking amazing. And the damage for it is also great. So, like, we got another Sarah move. He's Sarah on all of his moves. Amazing moves. He has whatever this move is. I don't know how to pronounce that. You jump up in the air, throw down the spear. It's a ton of damage. This one's a cool, was it showcase? Not showcase, sorry. Grab move. And then the fourth one is spiritual pressure. Nice little combo extender. Yeah, but for Ulquiorra, I'm going to go ahead and place him at high A tier. Just because I don't think he can make it up to the S tier level. But yeah. Next up on the list, we have Nellie. Now I'm going to place her, I guess, behind Katakuri at a medium to high S tier. Alright, now we have Niel. Now, Niel has 2 parries. Her combo potential is pretty high. It's like pretty much equivalent to using a GPO Devil Fruit. She has a dash move, which is a guard break, and another jump up in the air move that is also a guard break, which do high damage and have high combo potential. And you can extend off your parries as well, which is pretty nice. And then for her Zero Double, I guess I say it, it's also kind of a parry move, but it gives you a Zero that does a good amount of damage. And the cooldowns are quite good. They kind of make her spammable a little bit, just a little bit, comparing her to other characters. But then her mode, now her mode is also pretty good. Probably mid-high S tier, I guess you said, because one of her first move is a range move that has it has a grab pull kind of. It does a really good amount of damage, and the rest of her moves are pretty much rushing moves, including her fourth move, which is like an AOE attack, which does a ridiculous amount of damage. Now, the only bad part I'd say about her is that after her mode duration ends, she does turn into like a little child, which she's pretty much just useless, and you can only do M1s. But other than that, that's why I'm going to place her up there, pretty high. Now, for the next one, we have Bambietta. I'm going to place Bambietta a high B tier. Now, before everyone gets mad, I'm only placing her just because her combo potential does not really live up to it. She is mainly she's like pain in the ABA. No one likes her. She's annoying. Her knockback is absurd. And the damage output that she has is pretty crazy, considering that all of her moves are practically just range moves. Now, she's like literally just a spammer. That's all you can really do with her. But other than that, she's going to get B tier just simply because her combo potential isn't that high, but her cooldowns are mid. And she's just more of a range character. Now, onto her mode. Her mode partially carries her up into the ranking just simply because of the amount of damage it can do and the AoE that does. This is amazing for 2v2s and 3v3s. It just demolishes like the whole battlefield. Like the range and the damage it produces is absolutely absurd. Her moves just there's like not really any combo potential. It's just literally just array of just being AIDS and toxic. Like the damage she does produce is absolutely absurd, which is still why she's high B tier, but she's just being lowered just because there's not really that much combo potential with her that I see currently. There might be more people that are better with her, but just from my personal perspective, that's where she's gonna be ranked. Now we got Vegeta, one of my personal favorites. Let's just go ahead and move these two over. Let's put Vegeta high S tier, in between Katakuri and Nellie. Now onto the Vegeta, which is personally one of my favorite characters. Now for Vegeta, he does have very good combo based for his base mode, and he also has quite literally like no cooldown, so you can also spam them pretty easily. And for his mode is also pretty another W, because you can pull off some nasty combos with it as well. Like you up tilt, use Devastating Strike, and then you use his other move, which also knocks him back. And then you can also kind of extend that to Big Bang Attack. It's a little hard to land, but it's really good. So I'm going to say he's pretty high ranking. Alright, now on to Goku Black. I'm going to set him at a, let's say medium to high A tier. Now, the reason why I put him there is because, personally, I low-key do suck with him, and you can only really combo with two of his moves, which are alright, I guess. He has good damage, though. That does kind of carry him. And also for his ultimate, which has an extraordinary amount of damage. But his cooldown and combo potential is just mediocre. But his damage does come in clutch. That's why he's getting ranked pretty high. Just because his damage is pretty crazy. Especially with his Awakened Kamehameha, which I find extremely OP. It is fucking really OP, actually, now I do think about it. But yeah, I just think that his combo potential isn't all that high compared to other ones, and the damage is pretty good. That does carry him. Alright, now we have Sabiamen. I am going to put him at a tier. Now, the reason why I put him in high A tier is simply because of his amazing combos. His combos are straight up amazing. Like, he probably has the highest damage combos on a character other than Katakuri. Now, the damage outcome that he does have with these combos are pretty good, because you can nearly 0 to 100 somebody with these combos. If you know how to do the up tilt properly, then you can do a ton of damage. Now, the only bad thing about him is why he's an A tier is just because of his mode. Now, his mode is a self-destructing suicide bomb thing, which is shown in the anime. But that is quite literally the only reason why he's placed lower than the others is because of his ultimate. Now, we have Tengen Uzi. I feel like he is very underrated and not used enough. But we're going to go ahead and throw him on the A train. S train, sorry. Now, being shown in the video, Tengen Uzi can 0 to 100 people with his mode and his base mode. But not enough people really play him, to be honest. Now, I think the combos are kind of hard to pull off just because now there's evasiving. But other than that, his damage and combo potential are pretty high. I still just don't like him that much just because he's annoying to fight. So I'm just going to go ahead and place him a little lower. But as you can see, you can also combo pretty hard with his Awakened and base. And the damage with it is pretty crazy, just as shown. That is why he is going to be on S tier. Now, next up on the list, we have Midoryia. Now, Midoryia is kind of poop, in my opinion. Not gonna lie. I'm just going to throw him at C tier. Now, the reason why I put him at C tier is because of his combo potential is just literally not there. Like, I do not think that there's like that much combos you can do with him at all. Like, just to be frank. But he does possess a counter move, which I think is pretty nice, and like a throw move for combo extender. But in the end, his ultimate does kind of carry him. Look, I still think he's kind of shit. I think he's good. His mode does carry with One for All Smash just because it like obliterates everything. But also does nerf you and then kind of just takes away all your HP. But yeah, I think I'm just going to leave him at C tier for now until he gets a buff or some shit. Alright, next up we have Gon. So I'm just going to go ahead and scoop these bad boys over here. And between him and Gon, ooh, that's kind of a tie break. You know what? No, I'm going to put Gon above him just because he does more damage. Now, Gon does possess some of the highest damage in all of this game. Like, the damage he does throw out is absolutely absurd. And his combat potential is still pretty crazy. As well as his awakening, which is personally my favorite. Just because it has the badass cutscene move, and all of he has paper and rock, and they do a stupid amount of damage. On top of that, he also has a counter. And this shit is terrifying. I believe back in Alpha, though, this cutscene move would just kill him after it, or it's after his mode. It's one of the two. I haven't played him since, but his damage as well as his combo potential makes him deadly. But I don't think I'd put him at S tier just simply because his mode kind of just dies out. Well, it kills him pretty much after he after he dies. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and place him at a high A tier. Next up on the list, we have Shinra. Shinra is straight up meta, or was at least. His combos and damage are pretty amazing, not gonna lie. He's quite close to becoming an S tier, but I think I'm just gonna put him at a high A tier for now. Now, Shinra does possess probably like the highest availability to combo, just because of practically all of his lunges, and most of his moves are practically just fucking combo extenders, which make them even just that more great. But his availability for gang mode, multiple modes like 2v2s, 3v3s, just isn't that good overall. Just simply because his mode is just insta-kill, and it's just one. Like, for example, you can take multiple deaths with like Ichigo with his ultimate, and he also have his half mode. So that's why Shinra is going to be a high A tier. Now, just because I feel like he used to be overused and played a lot back in his days, I'm going to throw him at a high B tier. Now, Joker back in his prime was straight meta before they add all the new characters. But his combo potential is pretty good, and with the damage outcome is also pretty high, as well as his ultimate. Now, his ultimate is extremely cool. Now, another reason why I do like his ultimate is because for his fourth move, Hazy Illusion, if you land like a move like Demon Inferno Power, it does like AoE damage, which I think is extremely cool. But the damage for his ultimate is it's aight. It's not the best, not the worst, but he's kind of in between. He's kind of balanced. I guess he's pretty much just balanced at this point. Next up on the list, we have JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, which we have JoJo. Now, I'm thinking, I'm going to put him in between these two. Yeah, put him in between there. Now, JoJo does possess some pretty good combos, and the damage he does produce is also very good. It's pretty top tier, not gonna lie. As well as his ultimate, which he does have time stop, which is extremely good in team fights, and it's good for you can solo people pretty much with him. Like, it's actually pretty crazy. And he also has a cool move, which is his cutscene Star Beatdown, which does produce hella good damage. So yeah, that's pretty much why I place him here. I feel like he should be higher, but I'm just gonna leave him here, just because I believe it's kind of in between them. Like, there's no right, no wrong. Next up on the list, we have Rimiru. I'm just gonna get this bad boy up here on the S list. Now, Rimiru is one of the characters that we all love and hate. She is pretty good, probably top tier, just because of this move right here. This move causes me pure agony when fighting people like that. And her combo potential is pretty good, actually. It's really good, surprisingly. Her damage output is also pretty exceptional. And she also does have a barrage move. On top of that, she has a parry, which can also be thrown into a combo extender, pretty sure, for a blender. But yeah. Now, for her ultimate, she can quite literally like just straight boss raid. She has this one move which hits everything and everyone in its sight and is great for combo extending. It is straight up amazing for it, actually. But yeah, her awakening is very good in my personal opinion. Extremely, and for meta, she was complete meta back in the day. For my OGs, that is. So now we got Asta. Now I'm going to go ahead and throw Asta. Let's organize it a little bit. Let's throw Asta up in here. I think this would be a good, nice little fit. So for Asta, he does an extraordinary amount of damage for his combos. He has high combo potential, which he also has high damage potential as well. The combos he does do are extremely well, and they are rushing moves pretty much. Now, he also has a second awakening mode, which is also pretty badass and also pretty fucking cool. And he still does a hella round damage while still having his high combo potential. And then he also has his ultimate on top of his half mode, which also does an extreme amount of damage. And it also has the cool Black Meteorite move, which I personally do like. So yeah, this is why he is being placed at a S tier. Alright, next up we have Ippo. Now, I'm thinking of throwing him up here, but how about we move these bad boys over? And I'm thinking that Ippo goes right in between these two. Now, Ippo does possess some pretty good combos, which he can 0 to 100 people pretty decently. And the only bad thing I have to say about Ippo is that he lacks range. He only has one move that actually gives him a bit of range, but he still has high damage. High damage output and high combo potential. And he also has an awakening mode, which on top of that, he has Dempsey roll, which is pretty much like, I think it does like 8% damage. But you can still also do some pretty nasty combos with his ultimate as well, while still having your Dempsey roll. Just as shown in the video below, the combos are quite insane. So I'm going to go ahead and throw him at a good S tier. Now, last up on this list, we have the special slot Slave just for Mob. Now, Mob does possess some pretty nasty combos, which just like you do here, tanky toss, throw them down into a barrier, and you can dash over them, hit next strike, and he has a cluster throw. All doing about, if you land all those moves, it'll do about, how is that, like 80%, 70%? Now, a thing that is terrifying about him is his ultimate. His ultimate is a hard carry. Like, just the amount of damage that he produces, and, like, you don't even need a combo with it. Like, it's just that brain dead. Like, and it's also straight up terrifying, because he can straight up just solo anything. I wouldn't say he can, he's mainly a 1v1 person, though. And maybe 2v2s, I guess. I don't know about 3v3s. But Mob is extremely terrifying with his ultimate. And extremely OP. But yeah, I'm going to put him at the second top just because I do kind of meat ride him a little bit. Just because of all of his abilities for his awakening. And they're all badass as fuck. Just shown like below. Next up on the list we have Goku. I'm just going to go ahead and squeeze him up in there. Now, for Goku, I feel like he is just extremely unfair. Just because he has Kaioken, and that is a straight blow to the gut. And he also possesses rushing moves, and they all do an extreme amount of damage. And all on top of that, he has high combo potential, which is just absolutely stupid. Like, just the amount of damage that he does is actually crazy. Especially with Kaioken. Is actually wild. Now, on to his awakening. His awakening is even more AIDS. Like, this just makes me want to buy him, but sadly I can't afford him. But the amount of damage he does, and they all do, like, hyper guard break, is just so dumb. And all on top of that, he has large spirit bomb. All on top of all that. And that just makes me want to die. Now, for the last and final one we have up here, we have Hit. I'm just going to make it sweet and simple and throw him at A tier. Now, for Hit, he does possess some high combo potential, and the damage output is also pretty great. And on top of that, most of his moves are kind of counters, and they're kind of easy to land for some reason. But the amount of damage he does pull off is pretty crazy. Like with just his moves alone. And then on top of that, his ultimate is very annoying. It is straight up just annoying, like just pure annoying. He literally turns into Jojo, but he can move through time and space and whatever else. But the damage he does produce is absolutely just crazy. Like with 2 moves, he straight up just brings you down to 50%. Now, guys, if y'all did like the video, please like, sub, comment, and I hope y'all enjoy the rest of your day, because I did enjoy making this video.